and there was no space for me to hide anything. That's what she would say. Wouldn't you say that, Mother? That's what she would argue.
That's why I said it. I already know.
She would say that. I would tell you that I absolutely could have hid something if I so chose to do so.
Right.
So I'm always hesitant, right, to short of his parents being involved and we having some clear and convincing evidence that they knew, did nothing, whatever the case may be. I'm always hesitant to say what a parent should or shouldn't have done. Even with my own 12-year-old, I'm like, wait, what just happened? And I'm always, and so the kid's gonna figure out a way. Where there's a will, there's a kid.
Yeah. She like, yeah.
I could go into more detail about Jerry, but I shan't right now. Well, maybe her investigative skills were just, so high on par. We talking about a person who I could be like, hey, I'm about to go to the store, and she'd be like, you better not be going to that party on Murray Hill. I'd be like, what? How do you know about this? Exactly where I was headed. Not going now. So
you said you're not going now. You changed your mind.
Yeah, no, I ain't going now.
Right. Well, like I said, the investigative skill, different ball game. But like I said, I know I could have hid stuff in there because, mom was always going, especially in my situation. Mom was going with Kim, and dad was just chilling. So I could have, man, did all kind of stuff at home anyway. So we ain't going there. I know I could have.
Anyway, yeah, we digressed a little there, but yeah. I mean, I guess
I'm with you on that one, Darren, about not blaming the. Like,
but you're right.
To see that part, there are some things that you may not know about your kid. You know what I'm saying? And that's just that's just life. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm saying there are some things you may not know, but a deep-seated hatred for Black people. I'm sorry.
Came out somewhere.
Yeah. I'm sorry. That will manifest itself somewhere. You can't convince me that like he was just able to be
you think that came up at Thanksgiving?
At some point in time.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me he just sat there in the house and let's say they watching basketball or football and he just didn't just blurt out nigger? Like, I don't know shit. I'm sorry.
But okay, so let's assume you're right. Let's assume that they at some point decided, yeah, our son probably has some racist attitude or racist disposition toward Black folk. Mm-hmm. Then take the next logical leap. Do they ever get to, and now he's about to drive 3 hours away and shoot up Black people just because they Black? See, that's the next proximate cause that never happens in a parent's head, right?
True.
You may think you got a little miniature, person who's trying to find his way with, racist ideas. Your mind never goes to you got a miniature Hitler on your head.
Right.
Like you never gonna think that.
Guess what? There's a picture of him in high school in class in a hazmat suit. So yes. You probably should have thought maybe you had.
But wasn't that during COVID though? He came to school during COVID in a full hazmat suit.
Oh, that is still very odd behavior.
No, I saw grown people in hazmat suits at the airport.
Yeah, I think grown
trying
people
to fly on a plane. So I think context matters. If he had on a hazmat suit in 2018, then it would be like, what's happening here? Mm-hmm. But during COVID, he had on a hazmat suit. So yes, it may have not been the prescribed CDC method for evading COVID, but I saw grown people in airports in hazmat suits. And it was like, ma'am, you should just drive. But you should just figure out another transportation. So during COVID, I think that's fair. Now, what I thought you were going to say was during high school, he said he wanted to shoot and kill up the school.
Well, he said that too.
To which they intervened and he got a psyche eval and he said he was just playing and then he fell off the radar because he obviously graduates. Right. So what do you do with that, right? You can't watch these people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's hard. You can't navigate crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, that's true. That's true. Yeah. I guess I'm not trying to say that crazy should have fully been navigated, but I am saying that someone who has that deep-seated of a hate for a racial or ethnic group, and especially at 18, you don't have the savvy or wherewithal to hide that totally from everyone. You may be able to hide it a little bit, but it's going to come out somewhere. And while there may be others who were close to him who didn't get it, I find it hard to believe that his parents didn't pick that up at some point in time. Now, once again, you're right. Kids can hide things, but I'm saying if you're in the house with somebody a long time.
Yeah, but you hear what she said? She said, like you said, no, they probably knew he was racist, but like you said, they never going to step it to the point where he's Hitler, that he's going to go and pull a, Dylan and shit out of, you ain't think you're going to pull a Columbine, you think he just don't like niggas. You know what I'm saying? That's what she's saying. I'm not saying that they're like, oh, well, you don't like niggas. We know that. But they don't think, no person thinks with their kid, they're like, if my son say, you know what, I don't like fish, and all of a sudden I don't think my son gonna go in the ocean and start killing whales. I know I'm being really facetious, but
that was a hell of an analogy.
It just takes like, I hate niggas. Okay, it doesn't go. I don't think that it went from I hate niggas. They're like, oh, my son's gonna go kill some niggas.
I thought you was gonna say that don't mean he gonna go kill the Gordon's fisherman.
That too, but I don't think it went to that progression. Now, here's the thing: if he was going around already injuring like random black people and they knew about it, then I would say, yeah, they should have paid more attention to it. But a person's not saying they dislike something, or that they kind of racist, I don't think it's going to jump to the extreme of I need to watch him more careful. That's just my opinion.
I mean, the thing that is always interesting to me, and maybe interesting is not the right word, but throughout the course of history, in terms of American history, in terms of African Americans are the ones who have traditionally not been treated fairly and not been treated well.
Right.
So you would think, and I don't want this to happen, and I'm not advocating or condoning, but you would think that when these racial incidents or massacres occur, that it would be a black person who was fed up and who would go shoot up a white spot. But that's not what happens. Like what I'm saying is, for us to be the ones who were oppressed the most, and then still have people who hate African Americans, or not, it's not just African Americans, because you've seen a rise in racial, the shooting in the church in California. Mm-hmm. That was also racially motivated. Mm-hmm. It just is astounding to me, though, that the individuals who were least oppressed in most instances are the ones who carry out said attacks.
Yeah, because this isn't about oppression. This is fear of loss of control.
Yep.
If any time we've saw in our country's history that the way that this country has exercised control and dominance has always been through violence. Mm-hmm. Always. And so whether it's violence through lynching, whether it's violence through Jim Crow, whether it's violence through internment camps, whether it's violence through, you can pick a minority group and figure out how the violence that was pressed upon them, because that's how this country has navigated its control and dominance. It's always through violence. Always. And the oppression just is as a result of that, right? That's a secondary cause of it. And so you'll see that through whether it's our criminal justice system or anything else. That's the oppressive nature of what we have as a country. But there's been no scenario in this country when we've exerted our dominance that it didn't happen through violence. And that's what this is. That's what you heard your, I don't know who's president, but your 45th president, right? Mm-hmm. It was all about violence and bashing someone's head in and doing all these things. And it was creating this situation in which people felt empowered to put their hand and really reenact some of the things that we hadn't seen in such a long time. Because that's the foundation of what this country is.
Well, Donald Trump definitely, you just mentioned the number. Donald Trump definitely has something to do with this. Now, I'm sure that may be a controversial statement to some, but I still say that while he was president, enabled, not necessarily enabled, but emboldened that individuals who had these types of thoughts.
No, he enabled. Your word choice was perfect. He enabled for sure and encouraged.
He encouraged them to do things of this nature. And now you are seeing it happen, which, he of course will say he did not. He'll say, oh my goodness, this is a horrible thing. But his words sanctioned actions like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And I mean, just think about it. His whole philosophy, his whole mantra was about really about control, right? It was this idea of make America great again. So you knew in that instance he wasn't talking to me or you or anybody else, because when has America ever been great for Black or marginalized populations? It never had.
Ever.
Never had. So it was always about making America great again for white folk, which means white folk needed to get back control because they felt like it was a loss of control. All of this started to come into play literally with the election of Barack Obama.
Yep.
It started this idea that a Black man in this country can ascend to the highest office, disrupted the normal oppression apple cart so much so that you start seeing all these baby Hitlers just be born every day because it just disrupted what was the normal traction that Black folks were allowed to have and allowed to ascend to. It really started there.
Yeah, because that was the
really
most
started
during his tenure. That was when the most police shootings were out. But the funny thing is, and, the thing I hated the most is I love Barack, but why he didn't pass an anti-Black bill, anti-Black hate bill. You know what I'm saying? They got when Asians got killed, pass an anti-Asian bill. The gays got killed, they passed the LGBTQ thing bill. You know what I'm saying? They passed the alphabet bill. I didn't mean no disrespect, but just too many damn letters, and I can't remember all that shit. Okay, no disrespect. Y'all know how I feel. Y'all my motherfuckers. All right, but anyway, but like I said, they passed every type of law and extra bill, but they never passed one for us. They didn't pass anything for us. If anything, the police union got a bill about anti-recording police, tried to get that passed. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't do anything for us. But like I said, when you like you said, Dandridge, once Barack got elected, everyone started thinking, "Oh my God, we're losing control." What control did y'all lose? All the laws and the things went for y'all still. So what did they lose? They just lost the allure that a Black man is president. Oh my God, that's all it was.
And that was enough to send this country into a proverbial tailspin that has us living in the space that we're living in today. And it's just fear, right? I didn't live in the 50s and the 60s. I would have to call on our elders to figure how that felt. But I could imagine that people that lived through the Jim Crow South and other similar situated scenarios had very similar dispositions, like nowhere is safe. So that's the world we live in right now, that nowhere is safe. While we have a few more freedoms, we have the right to vote, we can integrate our schools, we can do other things, there's still this everlasting fear that being Black in America is going to cost you your life.
Yep.
And that's not going away.
Right. The supermarket ain't safe. In my neighborhood ain't safe. The freaking bed I sleep in at night ain't safe. You know what I'm saying? I'm not safe anywhere. I can't even sit in my car. It's just, it is ridiculous, man. Like that, like James Baldwin said, to be Black in America is constantly be angry all the time. I mean,
we can't even say we're the invisible man anymore, can we?
Oh, no, we can't even say the invisible man unless they got invisible glasses to catch us. They ain't missing us. And that's another thing. How come every mass murderer can get apprehended with no scars, not shot, but an unarmed Black man end up going to get shot? What the fuck? Really? Like,
well, no, they always take them down nicely, politely. They don't rough them up. They handcuff